right, I am freaking out just a little bit, trying to stay calm. Um, I think it's okay. I think it's working. I see myself on the screen. Okay, so what's going on is I'm trying something new, and I, I've I'm trying to stay calm. um, tell me if you guys can see me, if you guys can hear me, if everything is coming through okay. I see there's only a couple people here. I think most people might have forgotten about the stream. There's Almar. Evening, Rick and everyone. Hi, John. Um, checking to see if everybody can see me and hear me. Sup, y'all? Still waiting. Hey, Rusty. Can see you. Volume a bit low. Okay. Will you turn the volume up? Certainly can. Hi, Greg. Can see you. All right. Does that make it a little better? I think the gain is just going up on that. I can also turn that up a little bit. All right. Good day, y'all. Yep. All good. Good. All right. So everybody's coming in. I can see you on my TV and I can hear you. Okay, great. Rusty confirms it, so I know it's good. All right, I'm going to get rid of this screen because it doesn't look like this is actually doing anything for me. It's only showing me the same thing. Oh, actually, oh, that's actually a little behind. That's okay. All right, so yeah, I know I'm closing a dock. All right, guys. So here's what's going on. I'm actually seeing myself double now, and I'm not sure that I like that. Here's what's going on. So I have decided, if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I had a little snafu where I was talking to myself for 18 minutes. And I decided that it's time to get rid of the duck. You notice he is he's not up there anymore. So I got rid of him, and we are going direct from OBS into YouTube. So the quality of the stream is probably going to get a little bit better because when you go through StreamYard, they dumb down the resolution to 720, whereas now we're at 1080. So I should look better. I don't know if the camera makes me look better. Did you fix it with a Post-it? With a Post-it? Mike, fill me in there. I'm a little lost on that one. Did I fix it with a Post-it? So everybody's still coming in chat. So I was a little nervous. I did do a test last week and it seemed to work. And I was just trying to make sure that it did happen correctly this time. So I won't have that whole hiccup where I can Post-it note, hit the live button. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no. No, I'm not, yeah, no, that's what I could have done. I should have done. I would have made this a lot easier and I wouldn't be so nervous at this point. But no, I just decided I'm just going to skip the whole step of going through StreamYard. The only thing that I'm losing is I'm not able to have any guests up on the show, because it's really just me solo from this camera and that camera and all the other cameras, direct to YouTube now. So, that's what's going on. All right. So now that I know that it's working, now that I know that you guys can hear me and see me and, it's all going good, let's get on with the show. So welcome everybody in. Here's what we're going to do tonight. You remember that building that we started? God, I haven't been on stream for a month. So 2 weeks ago, I had to cancel the stream because my son's baseball game, which actually got canceled at the last minute, but I wasn't prepared to do the show, so I just skipped it anyway. But it was 2 weeks before that was the last time that we were together. So it's been a whole month. I got my hair cut today, Rick, just saying. Okay, that's great. I just showered and just pulled mine back, so I'm not sure if I, look any better. but I'm hoping you do. So yeah, that froze. That says that I've only been online for 3 minutes and 4 seconds. I don't know why the analytics isn't working correctly. All right. So you remember the building that we started? So I got a little bit further. I did put out a video last week of some things that I had done. In prepping for moving forward. If I hadn't done those steps, then we would be stuck here doing painting tonight. And I didn't want to do that because it seems like we always catch these streams when either I'm gluing or I'm painting. And I think I'm at a point tonight where the painting is done and I think we can put the building together. And this is such a unique building that I think I think it's going to be great to see this thing come together. It literally has to, because of the way that it's structured, it has to go together in a certain way in pieces. So you got to build a little bit, let that dry, build another section, and then join those. So it's going to be very unique. It's going to hopefully be fun. We'll see how it goes. But that's what we're going to get into. But before that, as always, we got to get the girl of the hour up here because I know she wants to say hello and I know you guys are waiting for her. So here comes Rita. All right. I was watching the other screen. The YouTube is a couple seconds behind, and I got caught looking at that while OBS is sitting here staring at me. So, Grandpa Rails, welcome in. Okay, so all that's done. Let's get rid of the niceties. We'll do all the normal stuff, and then we'll get over to this building the building of the building, I guess. All right, we're gonna jump over to the schedule first because it's a new month. And the Sidetrack Sunday crew has a new schedule here. So, of course, at the top of the month, coming up on this Sunday, don't forget to tune into John from Schuykill River Valley. J2 is going to kick off the month with March. May 3rd. Following up on the 10th is going to be Dave over at DB Tech. May 17th is going to be Bob. And then the 24th of May will be Ray. And then look at that. At the end of the month, we got a 5-week month here, and I'll be back. And of course, you know, for every Sunday that I'm on, you get me on the Friday before. So we'll have a double header that weekend, and we'll be able to hang out. And hopefully, I don't know, by then we might have a new kit. We might be on the same kit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and find out. Let's jump over to the participants list because it's a little short, and it's funny because YouTube shows, or at least the stats show, there's 15 viewers, but I don't think that's correct because it also only shows that I've only been live for 4 minutes and 48 seconds. So I'm not sure who is right here. Anyway, we're going to run through this short list. Remember, if you if your name is not on that list, then you either haven't said anything in chat or just haven't said anything recently, and it's dropped your name off the list. I see somebody just dropped off. So make sure you're saying hello. Make sure you're talking to everybody, even if it's saying hello to chat or just let everybody know that you're here. Then your name will pop up over there, and I'll be able to say hi. So real short list. Don't sneeze because it's gonna go by real fast. Almar's in the house. Welcome, Al. I noted. Oh, there it is. Okay. So Almar is in the house. DB Tech Dave is in the house. Welcome, Dave. Deep Run Railroad Mike. That's Mike. Of course, I'm here. Grandpa Rails is in the house. Thanks for being here, Grandpa. JD. PK&W Model Works. Bob. That is Bob from Sidetrack Sunday. Schuykill River Valley. That's John. Don't forget, John is on this weekend on Sunday. Also, I'm going to go ahead and, if I remember how to do this, I'm going to pop in the The channels for the guys in chat, just so that you guys have something to click on and you can go right to their channel. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Hopefully that works. It doesn't look like it's working, and I don't want to double spam it. Did I forget to click the thingy? Hang on a second. Oh, that's why. All right, let's try this again. Hang on, because it wasn't connected there. See if this works. Nope, that still ain't going through. Oh, well, I tried. Oh, there it is. Popped through there. Oh, it came through there first, then there. There we go. There's everybody's channel. Everybody go and click. Subscribe if you're not. Somebody just popped in. All right, let's go over to the side cam. Yeah, I'm all over the place tonight, ain't I? We'll jump over here. Got to grab my mouse, bring it with me. Dan's in the house. Welcome, Dan. Good to have you with us. Guys, if, just remember, Dan also streams right after me, so we're gonna jump over to his channel and make sure we catch his live stream too. I will throw a link in the chat up for Dan's channel. Make sure that we show Dan some love. We're gonna get down to this building now. Before I get there, I want to show you a couple things. Actually, I think it's just one thing. One thing that I bought recently that I kind of fell in love with. Okay, do you remember when we did the the whole thing with the straining of the paint and how it didn't work, and it worked for me when I was off camera but not on camera kind of thing, and I had those really big filters. So someone, and I think it was Brian from Sidetrack Sunday, Iron Horse Route. There you go. Told me about those big filters, and they're really, really awkward. Guess I could cut them down, but either way, what's his name? I'll think of his name in a minute. Steve 87th said, why didn't you just get the filters for your airbrush? So I went looking for them, and here's what I found. Not only did I find the, remember I think I showed you this already. I found the cups for the siphon airbrush. So this just goes in here. It's a really tight fit. So it takes a little bit to get it in. There you go. And just fits on there like that. And your paint goes in there, and then you spray. Well, what I was trying to do was filter out the paint to get all the particles out of the paint. And it was a pain in the butt because you had to filter it into a cup, then put the cup into here. And then I went on to Amazon and I found this little pack of these little tiny filters, and they look like this. They're these little metal cups. And even though you can't see it, it's got a little strainer in there. It's like a little metal mesh thing. And yeah, so what do you do with it? Well, you got your little cup there. You just put that right on top of your cup, and then you pour your paint right in there, and it strains it right out into your cup. And then these are reusable. You just wash them. This thing came in a pack of 4, and you actually get that one it's got a number on it. The one that's in the cup says 150. This one says 200. If you notice right there on the top of the rim, no, you're not going to see it because the camera doesn't want to show it. There you go. See that 200? I think that's the mesh that's in there. It must be either how fine it is or something like that. So I used the 150. I haven't used the 200 yet. But you also get these. There's a set of these in 150 and 200, and they're just larger. So compare the size. This is the one that fits in the airbrush. This one you could just use like in a cup to strain your paint, you know, right into a cup, pardon me. And that would work too. So a lot easier than using those big things that Brian told me to grab, which I will still use eventually, but now I have something that's a lot easier. So just wanted to show you that, get that out of the way. And now we can get down to the project. So let's get down to the workbench. Ron's in the house. Ron Montag, welcome in. Overhead camera. All right. Ooh, we're freaking out because of these. Oh, I'll hold those. So These are all the pieces. These are all the sides. This is the paint that I chose. When I did the paint project, and you saw this on the video that I put out last week. I don't want to let my hand go because the camera's going to freak out. So the paint color I chose was this green color. And what I did is I stained the wood first. I stained it a real dark color. And then what I did is I airbrushed on the green color. And the green is, what did I do with the green? The green is an oxide color, I think. Yeah, it's not that one. I think it's just, oh, I'm looking through my paints over here. Give me a second. This one. It's called Chrome Oxide Green. It's a master's touch. But what I did is I painted, oh, you guys can't see me. Pop in here. Hey, there we go. I was wondering why it looks so weird. So I used the oxide green, and what I did is I sprayed it on, and then I just used a paper towel and I dabbed the paint back off so that you can see in some spots it's really, really dark. That's the stain that's coming through. And then the really, really light parts is the wood that shined through behind that. So it gives it a faded look there. And I absolutely love it. I think it's great. I did paint the shutters that go into this door a dark brown color and just glued them in place so we have those ready. The rest of the openings are all windows, and then there is a set of doors. And as you can see, I've already done the glazing on the windows. I don't know if that's going to focus because of the clear. Do this. There we go. So you can see I did the glaze, which I love to do. I couldn't get the glaze to work on the doors. It just wouldn't, I guess the opening is too wide. I believe that green is an interior color for airplane cockpits. Oh, interesting. I never knew that. That's cool. But didn't they also use that green on the outside of the aircrafts? Were they all silver? No, some of them were green, right? There are like green. Are there green camouflaged planes? I could have sworn. Maybe I'm having a Mandela effect right now, but I swear there were green planes too. I don't know. Maybe. Back to the doors. I couldn't get the window stuff, the canopy glue, as it's called. Speaking of planes, to catch inside the window frames of this one, and I think it's just because they're bigger than these windows. Oh, you can see one's out. One's out and one's broken. That's cool. That'll be a cool effect. So I just went and I cut up some acetate and put acetate on the back of the two doors. So here's the way that this has to go. Of course, I had to follow the instructions on this because there is a specific way that these have to be put together. So we've got the written instructions with some pictures, but the real king of this show is actually back to this page. So these here are the instructions of where to put the bracing and the trim. This just shows you the one panel that I still haven't pulled out yet. There's jigs, but this is the master. This is a top view down on top of the building, this being the back, this being the front, and it shows you where the walls lie, and you have to put it together in order by number. So 1, 2, and 3 have to get glued first, and then 4, 5. It's a lot. I don't know why they did this. Very strange, but there are 2 5s on here. And the strange thing is there are 2 5s over here. So I don't know. Well, I know which one they're talking about when they're referring to it, but I don't know why they did that. But you got to go 4, 5, 6, and then you got to put 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 together. And then 7 and 8 are actually at the top of the building. Ron says a different shade of green. Okay. All right. So And here's what I mean by that. This, let's look at this for a second. The first one is this guy. So this is the very first one, and this has to get glued to this guy. That's going to be our first venture. And then the third one is the other side, which is this. I actually had a small snafu. You guys can see I painted the insides black so that if I ever wanted to light the building, I wouldn't get anything in the inside showing a new building. But when I was putting the bracing on, I was supposed to butt this up against the trim, and I didn't do that. I left it short. So I just got a cocktail stick and not a cocktail stick because that's like a toothpick. A coffee stirrer. That's it. A coffee stirrer. And it was just the right thickness that I glued that in there. And now that meets that, and there's no gap in the trim. So that's one set that has to get glued together just like that. That's not going to stand up. And then the second set is actually this building, which that is the side, I believe. 5, which is this, which gets glued in the front here. And then 6 is this really small one, I think, that goes, yeah, on that side. And then once we get that glued together, that one fits inside here. So let's get the first one started. We'll get some glue going. How do I want to do this? I got to do it on the other one because that's where the bracing is. I'm going to try and go light on the glue. You guys know that I love my glue. Yeah, got a little bit of squeeze out there, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to get my 1, 2, 3 block here. All right. Something doesn't feel right. It feels like there's a little bit of movement, and I'm not sure if it's just the way that the bracing, I think it's the way the bracing is set up because it's not hitting the 1, 2, 3 block up here. So I think I'm just pushing in the wrong places. And this is just Aleene's tacky glue. Sets up really quickly, fairly quickly, enough that you can work with it and do other things. So I'm going to get this other side here started while that other side is drying. And we'll try and get this in place. I can't even use a rubber band on this because there's no back wall there. Normally, if it was a 4-sided building, I'd just wrap a rubber band around it and be done with it. But I can't do that. All right. Doesn't look like I got any gaps. Oh, I forgot to mention the trim work that I did on this building. So I did go back and stain all of the trim, the dark brown that I have here from Hunterline. That's the raw umber mix. I did stain with that, all of the wood that was needed. And then I just took white. I have this color that's called a light antique white. Honestly, I think it's just white paint with a little bit of yellow mixed in to make it look kind of like an off-white color. And I used a sponge and just dabbed all over the trim. And that's what of course there's no trim here. Yeah, there's a little bit there. All over the trim. And then when I got done the windows, I couldn't, obviously, because the windows are plastic, I can't stain the plastic. So I had to get just a dark brown color, and I painted them all brown. And then from there, I just did the same thing. I got the white antique white, and just dabbed on with a sponge to give it that kind of like paint falling off color kind of ish. I'm not real happy with it, but from afar, I think it's convincing. It looks too bubbly and watery to me, and I'm thinking it's just the way that the paint mixed. Zinc Chromat Primer was and is a corrosion-resistant primer used on the interior of the aircraft. It's yellow with a varying amounts of black added to prolong its life when exposed to the sun. Interesting. Thanks, Gemini. Must be nice to have hands steady enough to draw that line of glue. It's as we're 26 minutes into this stream, and believe it or not, I'm still have that nervous, jittery feeling. So, it's easier when I focus on something, then I'm not as jittery. But when I'm still thinking of being nervous, you will see the shakes. I'm with Bob on that. Nice. Show us a picture of the building again. Sorry, I missed it. Okay, so where do I have this? Oh, that's right. I pulled it up on a screen share because they didn't include. All right, I can do this. It's black and white, but I'll try. That's the building if it focuses. Come on, give me a focus. It is a background building. Come on. It wants to. I know it wants to. There you go. So it's a background building with a little bit of a dock there. And that's what we're putting together. I had a color image, and I don't know where that is. And I know I did a screen share somehow, and I can't remember. I ordered a set of those cups. So when I use my airbrush for the first time, I will have nice, clean paint. Awesome. And hopefully you'll think of me. Now I remember. Thanks. Well, glad I could remind you. DRM us demand what? DRM us fans demand a video soon on this new equipment. Oh, you mean the strainer? Yes. Somebody needs to show it off. Maybe I will. We'll see. Next time I get around to using my airbrush, which I've decided. I remember when I first brought out the airbrush and I got everything situated, I had thought to myself, this, because it is a mobile booth, so it can be torn down and made into a nice little suitcase. And I thought to myself, I'm just going to put it up when I need it and take it down when I don't. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, I kind of like the way that it just sits on the shelf. The kids haven't bothered with it. It's right there. My airbrush is attached right to it. It hangs off of the shelf. And I think I'm just going to leave it there. The whole shelf is just going to be dedicated to the airbrush, and the airbrush will be there now whenever I need it. And since I have those small little metal cups, I can use, as little paint as I need for whatever project. And these larger cups that I had purchased, I could just use for when I make large amounts of custom paint. And just leave it at that and be fine with that. So maybe I'll make up some paint, like, the black cups, because obviously these have to be thinned, right? So what I've been doing is, I've been making the colors and I've been putting them in the little droppers, and the droppers work great for putting, putting little amounts of paint inside of the airbrush. But if I'm going to use, a large amount, if I have a whole bunch of windows, or if I get a painting project where I know now that, I'm going to need a lot of paint on a particular project, then I can just put it in this bottle, and that attaches directly to the airbrush, and off we go. I don't have to sit there and refill that little cup every time I need it. I was talking to the wife. Did you put a link for those cups? I didn't put a link. Let me see if I can find it. If you wouldn't mind just bearing with me for a minute. It's right in my Amazon account, so I should be able to find it pretty quickly. Yep, here we go. And we'll take that. And then we'll go back here. This, I am not affiliated with this at all. Just something that I'm sharing. I got it from Amazon. That's the link that I'm going to give you. All right, let me know if that works. Hopefully it should. I wish I could do that with my booth. Yeah, and you know what? I'm in a small apartment, and I didn't think I would be able to. And I got to be honest, it does take up a certain amount of room. I do have a cabinet that sits right next to it, and it is blocking the doors to the cabinet, but it's not much to just slide the bookcase thing shelf out of the way to get in those cabinets. I don't need to get in there all the time, so it's not that big of a deal. That's how I do it. As I only have one work area, I've been using the portable. Yeah. My neurologist tells me he can fry the part of my brain with causes tremors without surgery. Wow. My booth is in the garage. Yeah, that's, but it's big and bulky. Ron, I would love to see. I know. I should be working while I'm talking. I know Ray built his spray booth from a box fan and some, I believe, foam board. I would love to see what your booth looks like. Is it homemade? Is it just something that you purchased that happens to be large in size? I'm always curious to see like what other people use and their tricks for the hobby. So yeah, please share. Oh, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work well at all. So the one bracing is on the one wall and the other bracing is on the other wall. And the only way that that's going to sit straight is if I push from two separate angles. Oop. All right, I'm going to give that a minute. I did have a couple things that I needed to do. While I'm waiting for that, I could start clipping out these. There's a piece of let's go back to this picture real quick. You notice up here in the top corner, there's like this little attic part that doesn't match the rest of the building. It's actually a small piece of like MDF that has a corner on one side and this on the other side. Really, really weird because it's slanted for the roof under it and slanted for the roof on top. And this literally, like, it sits on, once you see we get it together, it sits like right there and kind of clicks into place on the top. And then the roof part, which is no, it's not connected to that. But that's part of it. Oh, I think it sits behind this. That's it. So I think it sits like, I think it goes in there, but this sits on top of a roof. So they actually had me glue this piece on, because this was all clapboard. And then this was another piece of MDF that I just painted black and just glued on, because there's a roof that sits over top of this part. And then this sits in here on top of that roof. But before we do that, they want me to use these, which are supposed to be 2x10s, and that's how we're going to make it look like that wood part. The white is like over flashing here. So we got to put all that, we got to do all that and glue these together, but I got to stain this first. So I don't know if I'm going to get to that tonight. But we can certainly try. All right, let's go over to this other part now, which is this. I got to go back to here. Are you going to try it? Need your doctor's number, Bob. There you go. There you go. Bob sounds a little crazy. Hey, Dwight's here. Good to see you, buddy. Grandpa Rail says it works. Those are the ones I found. Okay, good job, Mike. That sucks, dude. Anything that that could help, you know, you should be covered. I can heat up a soldering iron bomb. Hey, watch. Dave might have the whole thing built by the time you need it, Bob. So just hang in there. Dr. Dave in action. Can I watch? You guys are nuts. You got a whole conversation going. My Trevor's caused my comments on my videos. Oh gosh. If it ain't broke, Ron. Jeez. You know, Rick, it's worth doing. It's worth doing what we're doing. That's true. That is so true. Oh. All right. All right. Let's get this other. I believe this is the other part. No, it's not. There's this part. This part is what we need. No, that's not the part we need. Where's this part at? Oh, it is that part. Yeah. Okay. All right. Jeez. Yep. The bracing. Okay. We're good. Going a little nuts. All right. Here's where it's going to get difficult. Put that back. Because now I got to hold this straight, not bend it, and get glue in here. And not overdo it. So far, so good. And see if we can put this in here. Does it fit? Yeah. All right. Same thing. We got one piece of bracing on that side and one piece on this side. The only way to get it to stay stable is to push in the corner, which is kind of crazy. But it looks like it's at a 90-degree angle, so it can't beat that. All right, while that's drying, I can let that go now. While that's drying, make it straight. I am going to start clipping these guys out and getting them sanded and prepped, because I think it would be best, even though these things glue in from the front, I think it would be best to put them in now. I don't think it matters. Trying to do it. You know what? I'm going to need my glasses. I know. I'm getting older. I need my funnies. And there's a light. Yep. Now who's the doctor, right? I look like I'm ready for surgery. Okay, that's better. Go that way. There we go. Do it that way. And that. Good. Don't get rid of these sprues. Remember what I always tell you. They're good for something. They're good for something. You make downspouts, heavy-duty railings. Now, these windows, much like real windows, there's a ledge at the bottom that shows you the which way to put it in. The top is completely flat, but the bottom has this little ledge, so you know not to put them in upside down. I'm just trying to get those little spurs off from the sprue, so there's nothing holding it back from getting glued on. Apparently I didn't do it good on the first try. Pretty deep for it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm gonna happens all this. I don't know that I'm going to use this. Rick's other job as a gynecologist. Man, I wish. Man, I wish. Although I'm pretty sure Rita wouldn't mind if I showed up like this. I think I just lost my train of thought. Thanks. Now I'm thinking of a gynecologist. Yeah, someone said it's a lot of work. Okay, now I got my thought back. I'm thinking that oh cool, look at that. It puts it in chat over there too. Interesting. Sorry, I just found something that I've never seen before. I get so many things going over here technology wise. This building is very intricate, and it does have a lot of doesn't have a lot of pieces, but you're right, it is very detailed for a background building. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I want to have a section of the new layout where it's not so far away, so that people can get up close and look at these buildings. They'll be like on a background, but not so like far back that, you know, people would have a hard time seeing them. Because in my opinion, I'm working hard on these buildings and I want them to be shown, and I want people to look at them and go, wow, yes, even though it's a background building and it has no back, it's going to be completely black. You know, I'm going to put the work into it. I'm going to light them up and, you know, dress them up and weather them. And I want people to see them. So I'm not going to have it as just a dull building in the back. I want to have it on a section of the layout where it can be seen, and people can go up and look at it close enough and go, wow, that, you know, all those details and blah, blah, blah. You never know. I might just wind up. I've always had the idea in my head. I have the Pennsylvania P5A locomotive, that the electric locomotive that I showed you guys, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. I think what I want to do with that is build a shelf layout, a small shelf layout where I can have it go back and forth. And this might be one of those buildings that just goes up on the background of the shelf layout. So I've got ideas. I just have to get them there. And the goal is to just get it all moving, get it all the parts. They're all moving parts at this point. And nothing has a solid answer. It's all fluid, as they say. It's all fluid. Oh, got a little sprue over here. Yeah, that Pennsylvania I think it's a P5A. It's in storage. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but I know when I did look at it and I had it up and running on the other layout for a little bit, I loved that locomotive. Its startup sounds and everything are amazing. Sounds like me. Lots of ideas, just need the time and space. Well, I I have the time. I do have the time because in the space between when I have the kids and when I don't have the kids um, could certainly be filled with something. Um, and I think the layout is going to be it. My only issue now is the space. So I am working on that. I've got things in motion for that too. Um, so crossing fingers, saying some prayers, hoping things go well. All right, almost done here with the windows. No going back at this point. I was thinking about redressing the paint on these windows. I'm really not digging this white, but I've already got the panes of glass in there. Oh, guess what? I touched the window and I broke all of the glass. Every single one of those panes on the top have holes in it. It's really hard to see, but they're all open. So I don't know. I might redo the glass on that, or I might just leave it as an older building. But I did touch it with my finger, and when I pulled it back up, it opened up all the windows. Believe it or not. Let's check these. No, they look all closed. So, oh well, you live, you learn. Is it just me, or is the sound of sanding something like so soothing? Here, let's do some ASMR here. Oh, kind of puts you to sleep, or makes you think that rats are gnawing at your brain. One or the other, whichever gets you to sleep, I guess. All right, these walls. I'm wondering. We got 10 minutes left. Maybe I'll put the windows in and leave the walls till next week. Because something tells me that I'm going to have to. All right, that's done. Something tells me I'm going to have to. Okay, so this is the outside, right? And then this goes in here. See, there's a slot right there, and then this there on this side there's a tab, obviously. So this goes here, but I think now I'm wondering if I should. I don't know if I want to glue that just yet. I should have dry fitted that one because it looks like there's a little gap. There's a gap in there that I need to take care of. And I think I can do that just by sanding down. I'm going to do that with a file. Sand down the top of that and the bottom of that a little bit. Just to see if I can get a better fit. How do you type comments on a TV? If he hasn't answered it yet, you can broadcast it on a TV, but you have to have your phone in your hand and text from your phone. I do it sometimes. Looks authentic with the holes. Thanks, Dave. I personally, in my opinion, on the new style buildings, like the buildings that I used to do, the DPM buildings, I don't mind. I actually prefer doing the sheets of acetate on those buildings because the glass is just your normal, factory, it's panes of glass. It's a normal window. But these older buildings, I love doing this style of glass. Before 1920s, glass had iron in it. Oh, it made it had a tint of green. Interesting. I will make sure to iron the glass before installing it. Yeah, so I love tab slats constructions. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, but these old style buildings, I love the way that they fit together and the glass looks. The tab buildings, they're not bad. There you go. So if I glue that right, there'll be no gap there. And you can see that fits all the way through to the back. So I'll probably put some glue there and then some there and squeeze that so that gap doesn't exist. Now there's, so we did 1, 2, and 3, which is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Now we've got to do 7, 8, and 9, but this is 7, and 7 is actually the top of this. So there's I'm going to release these for a minute. There's a tab right here. I don't know, right there. You can see that. So this actually fits up here like that. And it looks like I'm going to have to sand some of that too, because that's not going in and I don't want to push it. But that's the top of that building. And this piece here was actually this one side over here. So they just used a piece of the building that's not going to be shown to get that extra cutout. So this will look like that. That goes into that slot there. And then that gets glued to that. And that's what keeps the building together. And then, of course, there's roof pieces that have to go on there. And then this building, this part of this building up here, gets this little piece. That's where this gets glued onto here like that. And then that little slot right there is where this piece goes. And that's what creates that little, that roof piece. And again, got to sand that to get that in there. They didn't make the slots big enough. Don't know why. There we go. This thing's just MDF. And then that would go like that. And that's what creates that extra window piece. So there'll be a roof here. There'll be another roof. No, I'm sorry. It's one piece of roof right there. And then that has a roof. That has a roof. And then this sits in here like that. And then that's all of the walls. And then there are some pieces in here. These pieces, I think, make up the dock area in the front. These are all the roof pieces. And then, of course, I already did the two shingles, or not shingles. What do you call them? Shade things in the front. These guys here in the front. And then there's the doors. I already got painted and glued. So it's a matter of just doing the roof at this point. This is a piece of bracing that I know is in the box. And then there's a bunch of trim that has to go on. Because there's a whole lot of wood that's here. So there's trim pieces that have to go around. Like we said, lots and lots of look detailed, just to give you guys another look at the building, the way it's supposed to be. Next time I'll have the color picture up, so you guys can see a better look of it. But that's the way it's supposed to be right now. My other computer went to sleep. Bear with me. Hey, let's go to side cam. So what I'll do is we're coming up to the 9 o'clock hour, and I don't want you guys to be late for Dan's show. Definitely pop over and see Dan. I'll pop up his link again in the chat. So I'll get the windows in, and I'll get the building together, and I'll post that link. I'll make a video of that, and I'll post that next Friday. And then the Friday after that, we'll work on doing the roof together, the couple little roofs that are on the building, and we'll get all those set up. And then I know there's a sign for the front. Oh, there's also a small rope crane that goes on the front that goes down to the dock, and that's what those doors are for the front of the building. So there's a crane up here on the roof that raises things up to that window. So we'll get that done too, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to hold off for tonight. Leave it at that, and then we'll come back to it. So at least we got some of the building together. We got the windows all prepped. YouTube seems to be doing great. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, OBS. Thank you guys for hanging in. I forgot at the very beginning, just want to thank my moderators again in the STS crew for being here and helping out with chat. I did give them the heads up in the beginning that if this does screw up, kind of needed them to just keep chat going while I figured it out. But it looks like we got all that together. So thank you again. Yeah, we'll do it again in 2 weeks and go from there. So let's jump over here and roll. We got to go here first because we got to switch the screen, and then we'll roll the outro. And